Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thank you for coming to TRIdigital's podcast designed to help IT companies be better at sales and marketing. We're going to get into New Year's resolution this year. New Year's resolutions, a lot of companies have them. And
I have them.
Yeah, and
30
sales and
pounds.
marketing are a big part of them, right? So we're going to be talking about that today, giving you a good overview. For those of you guys that want to stick around and listen, great. I hope you guys have some fun with Bill and I. For those of you that just want to take the assets and bounce, just need some helpful stuff, and that's good for me. If you take a look at the comments down below, we put links to a resource guide and a bunch of other materials of what we're actually talking about. So if you want to take that and kind of read it on your own, at your own leisure, and implement them at your own leisure, by all means, feel free. For everybody else, let's podcast. Yeah. So I guess I am the host for today. My name is Giovanni Sangilli. I am the CEO of TRIdigital Marketing and Honey CRM. And across from me, we have
Bill Weddingfeld. I'm CTO of TRIdigital Marketing and Honey CRM. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. So this topic, right? We kind of said it before. We're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions, specifically sales and marketing New Year's resolutions, as a lot of our clients have them. We're very, very busy. It's the busiest time of the year.
Yeah.
So this podcast is really designed for those of you that are understanding you really can't hit your revenue goals or your growth goals through referrals only. You're not sure what to do with marketing. Maybe you're starting to do something formal for the first time. Maybe you're making a commitment that you're going to stick to marketing this year, and I want to know everything that's involved with doing it. For those of you that are in that boat, we're here to help you answer all the questions. Our goal is to gather or leverage all the data that we've had from marketing for partners all over the world. I mean, we literally sent 36 million emails, a big number this year. Done a lot of different things. Yeah.
That's how many we're at?
Yeah.
I can't keep count.
Well, we got to give them a snapshot of like our dashboard so they can see all those campaigns. So a lot of trial and error, a lot of broken eggs. One of our core values is break eggs, fail often. That's how you learn. So those of you guys that want to just understand, benefit from our R&D and understand kind of how to build a winning strategy that's just kind of been forged through multiple years of trial and error, that's what we'll be doing today.
Yeah, I feel like even whenever we're talking about marketing for the new year, it just reminds me of whenever you make a New Year's resolution to like lose weight, right? And you just have like the best of intentions, but you just create arbitrary sort of decision. I'm gonna go vegan for a straight year, and like you don't even think about the process of what that's going to take. You don't even think about, is that actually going to help you in the slightest? What are your actual goals? Is it to lose weight, or is it actually just to look good? Like what actually is it? And I feel like that's very similar with marketing. What is your actual goal?
Yeah, and I also think it's interesting how marketing and sales, especially in our industry, I'm sure for every industry, you can probably be the same, but in ours in particular, it's like it's fashionable, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this year is the year that I'm going to start doing sales and marketing, and it's in line. We appreciate all the business we get, but really at the end of October, it starts to get a little crazy. Everybody wants. Those that are jumping the gun really want to get their marketing going for 2019. They want their websites up January 1st.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one works January 1st, man. It's going to be okay,
And
website up is like, that's not a really good goal. It's okay. It's part of what helps you attain your goals.
Yeah, I feel like that just has to do with sort of the idea of, well, if I want to start off with a fresh start, well, I better make sure. What is the cleanest? What's the cleanest deadline? The least arbitrary deadline? It is the first day of the new year. So everything. Well, yes, I understand that Christmas is 2 weeks away, but we really need it by the 1st, so I can feel good about myself.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff, and I think just starting from there, it's good to have that date. It's good to understand you want a fresh start, but I think what we can just get into, Bill, is helping them understand, all the things it's really going to take, and dates are important in your marketing plan. Don't get me wrong. Any plan without any date is a recipe for success. So the fact that you picked the date, you're on your way.
Yeah.
But I think that you need to understand, what these dates mean and what these milestones mean, how they relate to one another, how they build off of one another. Because for a lot of our clients, that this first date is an emphatic big date, and it seems to be like the only date.
Yeah.
For things.
Like if you miss the date, then
Right.
well, so much for 2019.
Yeah. So like, well, and what's funny is it's like transitioning to, the next date is not even a date. It's like the next thought in a lot of their minds is, how soon should I be seeing leads?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should pick a date for that too.
Yeah.
Right? Like when we want to get the leads, but it's more like, okay, I'm going to be doing this marketing. And then at some point, because I know it's a numbers game, I know that it takes time. Like, when should I start seeing those leads? And I would question back to them is that they should probably just put a date down that they want to see leads. And if they don't see leads by that date, then start taking action, right?
Yeah.
So to get long segue into, you can't do anything without a plan. And that's what we're going to talk about, is not only today the plan that you should build, but also how to forge a plan that leverages your strengths, right, Bill? Everybody's different. We've seen our clients be super successful using one medium and fail miserably using that same medium, but then do something completely different that others don't leverage well, and they're super successful with it. So,
yeah, I feel like there's each company has gone through its own experiences, its own trials and tribulations, its own employee turnover, its own employee successes, and those mold a unique atmosphere for every single client. And you should be pushing for with your marketing that you, who you are, makes you the most unique commodity about yourself. But as well as that, the evolution of your company is what forms what are you good at, right? And also like your vertical. Those things can dictate, maybe pay-per-click is best for me because of my market, and maybe I don't have a lot of time to devote into it, and so sort of set it and forget it. Or maybe a more physical plan or events. It's really just based off of your skill set and what works for you.
Yeah. So, but to get started, because like I said, a lot of you are marketing for the first time, and you may not even know what works for you yet. So we're going to help you devise a strategy and a plan that can change so you can find what works best for you quickly, and what kind of steps to follow to make sure that your plan has been thoroughly thought out. So before I get into all the different steps, I want you to know that we put together this resource guide. It was in collaboration with Trend Micro. They funded it, but we just made it. It's a helpful piece of information for you guys called the 12 Steps to High Performance IT Marketing. It'll walk you through your very first steps and what you should do, and details on every step thereafter. It's kind of like a checklist. It's got tons of resources, whether those of you out there trying to build your own internal team, those of you trying to outsource, costs associated with hires and who you should hire first, how you create a budget, how much to budget, what should the budget look like. All those resources on top of just really good information is in that guide. It's also in the if you look at the comments below, you'll find the link to that guide, and you can download it today. What I don't want to do is get into the details and just regurgitate that. But what I want to do is it'll help a lot of the concepts we'll be talking about today. You'll be able to boil it down and kind of reference that document to get particular details. But the number one thing is I think that you need to understand is getting the right mindset. So you're in the new year, you're excited about it. So let's, let's match that excitement with good expectations.
I feel like expectations are extremely important. Yeah. Because with any New Year's resolution and with any marketing plan, you feel like your success is going to instantly lead into ROI with very little effort after the fact. Like you executed your marketing plan, and all of a sudden you have money just pouring in. Those sort of days of referrals, and just sort of someone calls you and are like, I need your services right now. Those things are over. And so having proper expectations and having a really clean line between your marketing and your sales and what expectations you have for both of them will be key for helping you understand what's successful and what's not.
Yeah. Now, let's just take a look at that, right? Referrals. Some companies still get them. They still get a lot of them. And that's great. They're doing such a good job that clients are raving about them. I think what the comment about not referrals aren't good enough anymore is because if you have a plan, let's just say in 2019, you want to generate $1 million more in recurring revenue, right? Then you really get, if you're relying on referrals only, you're guessing because you don't have data to tell you how many referrals you're going to get every month.
Yeah.
Some of you do, and if you do, my goodness, okay, you don't need to be on this podcast. But the reality is in business, it's just not the way it works. But what's great about marketing is any type of marketing is you can leverage that data and compare it to some other data points in sales and understand how many leads lead to how many appointments lead to how many proposals close. And even if that number is very low, let's just say it's a 2% net conversion, at least you know that based off of X amount of leads, you'll get 2% of those to close, which equate to X amount of revenue, which gets you to your goal gets you to a number that's reasonable, realistic.
Yeah, you can't set a quota on your clients for referrals.
Yeah.
I expect 3 every month, Bob.
Yeah.
All right.
Or I'm killing your server.
Yeah.
Taking the whole thing down.
I promise you're going to get throttled. You're going to get 1 meg a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a very good point. Can't put a quote on the client. I got to use that going forward. So yeah, we can't do that. So that's a big thing to understand. And I think the other thing you need to understand is this. Knowing that marketing it does cost money you're probably not used to spending, and it does take time to generate leads. We all know that. But let me set some more direct expectations. Most of your marketing is going to fail. 80% of all campaigns fail or don't meet the expectations. Okay? It's just normal. And the 20% that do, though, is what makes all the difference. Now, the longer you do it and the more consistent you are, the better you get at it. Okay? So that's why it's really critical, right, to keep an eye on what mechanisms you're using, what strategies you're using, and be able to make changes quickly and adjust quickly to find the strategy that's best aligned with you so that you can get to what's successful quicker. However, even when you find the right recipe for success, not every campaign's going to go well. You have one campaign that generates hundreds of leads and another campaign that'll generate no leads. So just go in with that mindset, right? Keep trying to go back and continue to do different things, leverage the data against one another, and slowly but surely, if you look at the data enough, then you're going to find patterns, and that pattern is going to be your kind of marketing DNA.
Yeah,
and that's what'll help you generate the consistent results over time. Other ways to bypass it is to find yourself either a really good marketing team that you bring in-house that has a lot of experience specifically in your vertical, or another outsourced company that can help you leverage some of their experiences to get you down the right path a little bit quicker. Those are just some things that's just like, you just save a lot of money not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
Right?
And part of that's really nice because even whenever you choose those outsourced marketing teams, that doesn't mean that you have to stick with them, right?
Yeah.
But what's really great about choosing that option is that you can see what it's like. You can see, oh, this is what I should be thinking about. This is what I should be focusing on. They do this for a living. I should probably model. I don't have to be exactly like that, but once I'm done with that relationship, I have the knowledge of what I should be focusing on and where the skill sets of my team should lie, and how do I leverage that to create a plan? You can just alter it however you wish. It's just you just pay money to get a forward leap in knowledge and experience from someone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think vertical specific firms that know your business. I mean, there's a lot of consulting you get out of it. The one thing is, it's just, again, go into it with this expectation. If a knowledge transfer is what you seek, you'll always get a knowledge transfer by virtue of working with the team.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to separate getting a lot of these deliverables and marketing execution done versus consulting.
Yeah.
They're two completely separate things. If a company's talking to you all the time, okay, good communication is always good, but you can imagine you're not going to get a whole lot done, right? Unless you're spending a lot of money, right? Because it's just a resources thing, which is okay. Just understand, the value you hope to receive. If it is, I want to really learn, then make sure that firm just says, okay, hey, I'm going to structure your agreement to be focused on marketing, on consulting, and a little bit of marketing.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, for the most part, it's just a question of, do you need knowledge or do you need execution?
Yeah, exactly.
At that point.
Right, exactly.
Do you have a team or do you need a team?
Yeah, exactly. So those type of things. Now, let me segue into another kind of number one failure that I think, before we get into the concepts. I can help you avoid the biggest failure that happens with most companies that are trying marketing, whether it's internal or external. And Bill, you and I can talk about this in a little bit more detail.
Sure.
But what it is, it's just MSPs marketing their services. That is a guaranteed to fail.
Oh, yeah.
So that sounds crazy, right? Well, what are you talking about? Marketing my services.
How are they going to know what I do? If I don't tell them what I do?
Yeah. And again, I get it, right? But the thing is, you got to understand that in our industry, right, what you do doesn't make you special. No one, okay, just so you know, anyone, one-man show, can partner with your same vendors and sell the exact same service at the exact same or lower price if they don't even know what they're doing. Okay? So essentially, when you choose that route, you're focusing on the one thing that makes you just like everyone else, and giving your vendors, these billion-dollar companies, free advertising.
Yeah.
Like they need it, right?
Yeah.
All
I'm a
the
Cisco
while,
partner.
Exactly.
That legitimizes me.
Yes. I have a badge. So, it's one of those situations. And I think that what you need to do is instead focus on how you do what you do.
Yeah.
The true unique qualities come from not only your human qualities, people, passion, culture, but also over the years, the processes you've built, the lessons you've learned about how to provide good support, your philosophy around client support, a lot of your internal documentation, your infrastructure, right? The type of things you've built. Some of you has a beautiful Knox that you've built to really monitor things that your end user clients may never even fathom doing for themselves. Yeah. So all the while, if you choose not to leverage those, if you just choose to go services instead, you're just really missing out on a big opportunity.
Yeah, this is something that I mentioned before, just about, the evolution of your business is what makes you unique. And remember that the client, the prospect, they're going to know what they need, right? So an example I like to give is, like, let's say that you're going to go to the grocery store because, man, I'm really craving some cereal, right?
Yeah.
You don't go to the cereal aisle and then choose based off of which one has the most sugar content.
Yeah.
Right? Or based off of, this rice cereal has more rice cereal than this rice cereal. No, man, that's not how it works. All right. Oh, man, 100% riboflavin? Oh, amazing. No, man. What you do, whenever you go to the cereal aisle, you go from the inside and you go, what do I feel like? I feel like chocolate. I need some chocolate in my life. That's what I need. And so you go and you find, what sounds great? Count Chocula. That mother effer has so much chocolate that he is straight up brown everywhere. He is oozing chocolate out of his pores. That sounds right for me.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they choose. So it's all about... you don't market yourself as, we're all cereal. I'm cerealose.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Right.
Choose be
Located
who you
near
are.
you.
Yeah, located near you.
Yeah. No, I think that's important. So find a way, guys, to really dig up those internal documents, some of those unique processes, unique ways that you support your clients, and figure out how to make campaigns around those. Okay, so I think that's a big one. The other thing here too, again, since this is more of an overview, I'm just going to kind of flash you with a couple different things. Figure out numerically what the KPIs are, okay? You need to understand, typically New Year's resolution goals based around some sort of growth goal or revenue goal. So it's very interesting. What I can help you with right now is that we know that nationwide average is about a 5% conversion rate on a lead generated, okay? It's not a very good conversion rate, but it is what it is based off of thousands of businesses that we've seen in the system. So what you got to understand is that if that's the case, right, then you know that out of every 50 leads that you get, you're going to close about 2.5 sales, all right? And if you think about your target being 25 to 50 users, let's just say that's the majority where your business is, and you charge $100 a user, which is the average pricing for an MSP, then you understand that at 2 sales a month, roughly, you're about getting $10,000 a month in recurring revenue and how that compounds over the end of the year, right? Plus, you need probably 30, 60 days to ramp up the sales pipeline so they can start closing in on one another. So you could take that. So understand that, okay? You can get much more granular if you really understand what your true conversion numbers are and how they work and work backwards from there. The other thing too, Bill, I think aside from just understanding the KPIs that'll help them determine is let's focus on, again, understanding your strengths. Everybody wants the cheapest lead possible. Mm-hmm. I want as many leads as I can at the lowest cost. What I can leave you with here, and I'm going to let Bill interject before we close out because I don't want to go forever about this. This is just an introductory podcast. Yeah, is that that's going to depend. The lowest cost lead sounds great, but you got to think of the lower the cost of the lead, the more talent you're going to need on the sales side to convert it. Okay? Typically, lower cost leads are those that come in volume because you're focusing on a higher funnel. Mm-hmm. You're touching interest areas of the client, right? You're starting to build awareness, and you're starting to find these little latent needs and these little things that they're curious about, which is things they are interested in and will eventually turn into a sale. But you got to be able to have the right processes and the right aggression, the right amount of touches to nurture that lead into something. You may not have a dedicated sales team to do that, or you may not have time to do that, or whatever it is, or a skilled enough sales crew to do that. So for you may invest in a higher cost lead. Maybe you do use advertising to bring a lead that's an inbound type lead that calls you and says, hey, I need this. Yes, that lead costs you more to get, but it was further along in the sales process, so it may have taken you less time to close. The key thing is you're not really in control of what they're buying. Those of you trying to sell a lot of managed services, you're going to get a lot of projects and break-fix work and maybe walk into a managed services deal if they're just mad at their current existing MSP or something. But it may be the right solution to get you started to hit some revenue goals until you can bring on a dedicated sales team and take advantage of those lower-cost leads. So that is a big part of determining your strategy, which we talk about in the guide as well.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it has to do with, do you have a lot of money or do you have a lot of time? Which one do you have? If you have a lot of money, then man, you got a lot of options at your disposal if you don't have a lot of time. But if you have a lot of time but no money, then you got to put in the man hours, right? Because pretty much you're paying for you're paying for more steps down the process that you don't have to nurture your prospect towards. That way you can shorten your life cycle and then end up getting ROI out of that. So it's just take a look at your business, and because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I have the time. Of course I have the time, right? But do you?
Yeah.
Are you actually going to sit down for 30 minutes to an hour every day and look at your marketing? Is that what's actually going to happen?
Right.
Or are you going to get your cup of coffee and go out into the service delivery team and figure out what got broke?
Are you going to give your leads 7 to 10 follow-up touches every single month, which is, by anything you Google, the number of touches you need to make.
That's not going to happen.
So, yeah, guys, this is, again, all these things are things we talk about again in the guide that we put together. This is meant to be an overview. We're going to continue to do more podcasts and then get into very granular detail on specifics. But for now, like I said, if you're interested in learning more about this kind of stuff and understanding the recipes and get a shortcut and move along further to the path of success, please, by all means, hit the subscribe button. Click on the bell to be notified of our future podcasts that we're doing. Go into our comments. Let us know what you specifically want to know about. We also do live streams in different media outlets to answer the most common questions. We're an open book here, everyone. We're just trying to give you all of our secrets and all of the data that we've collected to help the channel in general just do a lot better. Yeah. That's really what we're here to do. Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We wish you a successful new year. We hope that you guys get everything you're working towards and all the goals that you set.
30 pounds.
30 pounds.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Bill. The camera
Jesus.
adds.
The camera adds 30 pounds.
It doesn't add that.
So
much.
We'll get there.
Yeah. There should be thinner men in the next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we're failing.
Hopefully.
Okay.
The pasta, it's so good.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye.